Well, here at the Aussie Wire, we've been following the epic journey of Matthew Lawson. He's walking from Melbourne to Brisbane, raising awareness and money for Jab Injuries Australia. Now, Matt Lawson's face and name would be familiar to anyone who's been following the Aussie Wire and to anyone who's watched Battleground Melbourne. You'd remember him as the very first person to be shot with a rubber bullet by Victoria Police. Now, Matt has gone to hell and back, a huge amount of physical recovery, a huge amount of psychological recovery, and it brings me great pleasure to be following his incredible journey. He's an incredible man, and he joins us right now here on the Aussie Wire. Matt Lawson, what are you doing sitting down? You're supposed to be walking.
I know, right?
What?
Unfortunately, I've hit a part of Australia now. I'm in a place called Millmerran, and it's known as a black spot. So there's no Wi-Fi, no reception. So because I wanted to do the live with you, I slept in a little bit this morning, and I'm sitting out the backyard of someone's house right now on some Wi-Fi.
Right, you're using me as the excuse for you sitting on your lazy butt instead of keeping on walking. Right. Now, I've been following your journey on your page, your Facebook page. We'll put the link to that in the description. A couple of days ago, you had some blisters really break out and get quite bad. Where are you at with that? How's the body holding up?
Yeah, so pretty much since day 3, I've had blisters coming up all over my feet, places where I didn't know I could get blisters. And I thought I was a hard worker, but no, I'm not. And yeah, about 3 or 4 days ago, I think it must have been, it's like a tire blowing out on a car. My left foot, the bottom of it, a blister just exploded, and I had to get a lift back to where we were staying and get it taped up and then come back to where we were walking from. And it's happened a couple of times. I've lost a few toenails. I'm sorry if anyone's having dinner or breakfast or anything. Oh, there'll be dinner at your time. But yeah, the feet are okay, and I'll just keep on pushing through and then go in for a pedicure at the end of this.
Yeah, you're going to have to give yourself a little bit of self-love by the time you're done. Now, look, you know I'm a big fan of yours. You know I'm a big fan of what you're doing, but, you know, it's my job to ask the hard questions. And look, I've been doing a little bit of research, and what I've found concerns me greatly. Here is a map. Let's hit the right button. How about that, Topher? Here is a map showing your incredible journey from Melbourne to Brisbane. You're going via Shepparton and Dubbo and so forth. The map is there. Now, I put it into Google and I asked Google, how long does this take to walk? And Google's answer was 329 hours, right? Now, I'm not trying to start nothing, okay? Look, I'm not, but you've been on the road now for well over 1,000 hours since you left Melbourne. So my question for you is, what have you done with the other 700 hours?
I know, it's lazy, right? And I think when I looked at Google, someone said it should take you about 13 days or whatever they said. Unfortunately, occasionally I have to sleep and eat. It's frustrating. And someone told me the other week that Cliff Young did it without any stops, and I'm like, and in gumboots. And I'm like, I'll train up for next time. On the way back, I'll do it quicker.
Yeah, on the way back. Well, it's downhill on the way back. We covered that last time. No, look, obviously I'm taking the piss. It is an incredible thing to do. Now, you're approaching Toowoomba right now. Are you still expecting to get into Toowoomba on Saturday? Is that still the plan?
Yeah, so we've only got about 80 Ks to Toowoomba. When I say only, it's a quick drive, but walking, it'll take me 3 days, but they're going to be 3 easier days than what I've had because I kind of, early on in Melbourne when I was planning, I knew that I might have some body fatigue. So 3 slightly easier days. And then in Toowoomba on Saturday the 2nd. And it looks like they're putting together quite a few people. They're doing a Forest of the Fallen.
Amazing.
It should be amazing.
Yeah, fantastic. So if you're up that way, if you're up in southeast Queensland or even in Northern New South Wales and you're willing to make the trip, get along to Toowoomba and have a look. Now, I'm going to go back to this graphic here because I notice if you have a look on the left-hand side of that, you can see the elevation bar that Google gives you when you do any kind of a walking map. Toowoomba, if I'm not mistaken, is the highest elevation of your entire walk. You have literally been, on average, walking uphill all this way. And then you'll have the downhill run all the way down to Brisbane after that. Now, I've driven those roads, and some of that's pretty steep. How are you feeling about the downhill? Are you looking forward to it, or is that actually going to be a chore in its own right?
It's really weird because the uphills seem to be okay now. The body seems to have adjusted to the uphills, but steep downhills, there's a big toll on the front of your ankle and sort of the lower part of your calf. So I think hopefully, because I should be, when I'm coming down from Toowoomba, should be able to see the ocean. And
Ah,
all I'm going to
yes.
be thinking about is getting my feet in the sand and getting into the ocean. So hopefully it inspires me just to push through. I mean, in the end, as I sort of mentioned to you last time, the people that are suffering from the injuries that are happening out there, it's so much worse than what I'm
Mm,
going through.
mm.
And I'll get to go home and go back to, being comfortable again. So that kind of is always at the forefront. And, yeah, I am looking forward to the downhill stretch, but yeah, at the same time, there's a little bit of sadness as well because it's coming to an end, because it's been an amazing journey. We've met amazing people. We've really got the conversation out there. So it's kind of mixed feelings at the moment.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. What is your actual finishing point? Is it literally reaching the coast and putting your feet in the water? What's your designated finish line?
I actually made it Brisbane Botanical Gardens because that's where they have all their protests.
Yeah. Okay.
So on the I think it's on Thursday the 7th, we'll pull into Brisbane Botanical Gardens around about 4:30. They're doing Forest of the Fallen as well.
Yeah.
But
Brilliant.
quietly that night, I'm going to walk from Brisbane Botanicals just by myself down to the beach. That's going to be my own little sabbatical where I do it myself, and I'll probably shed a few tears when I get down there. But that's just for me.
Yeah, no, fair enough, Matt. I think it's an amazing thing that you're doing. We'll put all the links to Jab Injuries Australia to your Facebook page into the description of this video so that people can follow you. If you can get to Toowoomba on Saturday, please do so. If you can get to Brisbane to celebrate with Matt the conclusion of this walk, please do so. And then make sure that you give him his space, because I tell you what, I'd need a bit of me time after a journey like that too, Matt. Congratulations. Thank you for what you're doing, and thank you once again for coming on the Aussie Wire.
Thanks, Tova, and thanks, Aussie Wire, for having me on throughout the whole journey and supporting us. It's been amazing, and I love what you do.
Our pleasure.